What's going on, guys? Soul here, one third of the DualShock and Sons podcast. I am here doing a reaction to The Last of Us Part 1 announced trailer. This is the long since rumored, built from the ground up remake of the 2013 original. Apparently this was leaked. I think this is supposed to be an announcement for the Summer Games Fest, but this was leaked, which probably sucks. I feel bad for the people who worked really hard on this and was waiting for this to be announced properly, and then it gets leaked a few hours before the show, so that kind of sucks. But yeah, nonetheless, I'm excited to see what this thing is going to look like, because I feel like in part 2 we got kind of a tease with it. Like at the beginning of part 2 there were like some scenes from the original game like redone in part two's engine, so we did get like a kind of a tease of like what this thing should look like in the new like updated Last of Us or Naughty Dog engine, right? So yeah, I feel like I have an idea of what this thing is going to look like just based off of that. But I want to see Joel in that like updated part 2 gameplay, because part two's gameplay is sublime, dude. The way that you move in that game, I don't know. I just want to see how Joel looks and plays like in that updated gameplay style, because again, part two's gameplay is fucking sublime. So I'm excited to see that at the very least. But yeah, without further ado, man, let's jump into this. It's only a minute and a half, so I wonder what they're gonna show. But yeah, man, pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
So why'd you leave Boston?
Starting with Tommy immediately. Oh, the university.
I've been on quite the adventure, little brother.
The hospital at the end.
I reckon it's got something to do with that girl.
It's got everything to do with that little girl.
Oh my god. Was that David? Her killing David?
You know, I've never been this
Oh
close.
man.
It's the outside.
So is that everything you hoped for?
Can't be any worse out there.
Good lord, this looks incredible.
Can it?
Oh, that clicker. Oh.
Once upon a time, I had somebody that I cared about. And in this world, that's good for one thing. Get you killed.
I can take care of myself.
How many close calls have
Oh,
we had?
my favorite scene in the game.
I get into trouble down there. You make every
Bullet count.
shot count.
I got this.
Hope you know how to use that thing.
I've had some practice.
Nice. Also, that theme song is chills every time, dude. It looks it looks incredible, dude. Yeah, it looks absolutely fantastic. I really don't know what else to say aside from it looking utterly gorgeous. I love that they had like Bill sort of like being like the voiceover for like the ending bits of that trailer, because it's like such a like setting the tone. If you've never played this game or you don't even know like what The Last of Us is about, like I feel like what Bill was saying towards the end of that trailer is such like a good like tone setter for like what you should expect for, you know, like what the world is basically, right? Like what people have been reduced to such a point that like one person believes that if you build relationships and you get close to people, that's going to slow you down, right? That's just kind of the world that people have been or that's kind of what people have been conditioned to believe within this world, right? So I think that's a really good way to like establish the tone of this game if you've never experienced or know what The Last of Us is even about. Yeah, I mean, aside from that, dude, like, it looks fantastic. It looks absolutely fantastic. God, again, I think like honestly, like the most impressive shot was like seeing Joel, or that clicker, like jumping on Joel and Joel kind of like holding it by like the throat and just seeing like I want to pause that shot. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, so around the 50-second mark. God, man, like I just feel like in the original, like you can never see, like it was never like that visceral, right? And of course, like they were working on PS3 hardware, so like obviously, but just like seeing a clicker like that up close and personal, um, yeah, I don't know. Like I feel like you couldn't see that bottom lip of the clicker like that defined in the original, right? Oh my God. It's just so disgusting in a way that I feel like never really was conveyed to this degree in the original game, right? And part two, obviously, like it got there. Especially in that one scene with like Ellie and Dina and Ellie like falling down in the like supermarket or whatever, and then like the clicker like looking around and like roaring like right in front of Ellie's face, right? It kind of reminds me of like that scene of just like being up close and personal with the clicker. Um, but yeah, like that specific frame right here that I'm looking at the 52-second mark is just like probably like one of the highlights for me. Um, yeah, man. Aside from that, I don't know what else to say. It looks fantastic. Um, so yeah, I'm excited to play it on September 2nd. It's also coming to PC someday in the future, which I think is really, really smart because, we know that the HBO show is coming out in, sometime in 2023. So, I mean, just in general, this remake seems like it's a project that probably is not going to, it doesn't take, 4 years to produce. It probably doesn't take a lot of people to work on this project either. Probably doesn't take a lot of money either. So it's something that they can do pretty quick. As almost like a stopgap between Last of Us Part 2 and their next major project. And it's also smart in the sense that, yeah, you do have the HBO show coming out, so this is kind of like almost like The Witcher, right? Where I'm sure for a lot of people when they watched the Netflix series, they went and played The Witcher 3 or they went and read the books, right? It's kind of that thing where you kind of like keep people in that sort of like universe. You keep them in that world, and you have all of these different ways for people to consume that specific IP. And I think this is exactly doing that like once people finish watching the HBO show, you have The Last of Us part 1 or the Last of Us remake immediately there for you to go back and play, right, if you've never played it. So yeah, I think that's incredibly smart. Same thing with like the Uncharted movie. It's exactly what they did with the Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection. They had that come out pretty close to when the movie came out, right? In January, and then the movie came out in February. So it's like, yeah, it's almost like keeping people like on that hamster wheel of like that IP, right? So yeah, it's smart. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it for me. Coming out in September, so I feel like that we're getting like a little bit more of a sense of like Sony's fall releases, I guess. Now the big question is God of War, right? What's going on with that? But yeah, that's gonna do it for me. You can find me on the DualShock and Sense podcast every Saturday at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. We will go live this Saturday, talking about everything, all the announcements that happens at the Summer Games Fest. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.